Good evening and welcome to eXtelevision, bringing you a pretty cool match here. It's going to determine who gets to face my co-caster, actually. I'm Marxist, by the way, and casting with me tonight is Blank. How you doing, Blank?
I'm doing pretty good, Marxist. Thank you for asking. Haven't been, in the casting ropes in a while, but, I figured bringing back your original first caster, co-caster, partner, whatever you want to call it for a cast, would make for a good time.
Yeah, hopefully no DDoSes shall be had this day. So we'll get going on to the rosters. I believe we're doing Xero Error Gaming first here. So talk about the scouts in Kapow and Schnell. Kapow, pretty good scout, been around for a while. There was a wonderful time where he was mentoring me a long time ago, and he had to calm for a player whose mic broke that night, and I've loved the guy ever since. You got Schnell, his scout buddy, quite good, never played open, what can you do? And then we'll go on to the soldiers. We got Mangachu and Boink here. Mangachu's going to be playing Pocket, a little bit different from what he's maybe known for. Boink's going to be roaming. He'll be one of our important players for the evening because the map tonight is Process, and that's quite the roamery map. You got Kosa, the ultimate farmer on Demo Man. Struggled a little bit with the crits the other night in my other cast for eXtv here. You can probably catch that one on YouTube if you didn't see it. And then you have the Austrian medic DBW, who's also been around for quite some time. So you got any comments on Blank since you've been playing against this team?
Well, for Xero Error, they typically play a little bit, more passive, kind of slow, really kind of revolve around their pocket to do a lot of things. I look for on a map like Process for Boink to do a lot of, double rocket jumps and whatnot, pogos, to try and be everywhere around the map, and then for the scouts to try to find a way to come in off of that, but it'll be interesting to watch the matchup of these two teams.
Alright, so we'll scoot on over to Ding Dong Daddy, who are the challengers tonight, and we'll see their scout. He currently has the most frags of any scout in IM in this postseason with 108. So that's pretty good for doing for yourself on scout. I have played with Ben K, or Bank, whichever you prefer to call him. Came up with Sharknado the last season. Also came in second in Open. I believe it was season 11. You got Showstopper and Ranga on the Soldier Mans. Ranga, been around a long time, came up with the royalty guys, playing demo actually, but switching it over to Roamer here, being pretty impressive on Roamer so far. Showstopper is actually another guy that's played a lot of demo too in his time, but playing Pocket this season. Then we got Umph, or UNF, on demo, a former teammate of Blank's maybe, I think, or that might have been that season that you missed, but he's been around forever. So, lots of demo stuff coming out from him. And then we got Peyote, who's floated around for a long time. I also pretty well known in the Highlander scene, I believe. So, pretty solid team there, too. Comments as well, Blanks. I think you've played them, too.
Well, you did say I played with Umph. Umph played with me in my first IM season in the game, season 11. That's, I guess when we took the first one. The season you're referring to is season 12. I didn't play that season when he played on NNN, but, this team is, pretty probably one of the more aggressive teams in Intermediate. I look for Ranga to try to, make frags happen on the flank. Alec kinda likes to plus forward with a buff, and Umph really likes to get in there and, trade damage on a lot of targets for his team to abuse, so look for kind of the classic case of aggression versus passivity on this map between these two teams. It'll be interesting to see who comes out on top.
Alright, it certainly will be. And then we have our special little focus for the night here. The Roamer Special on Ranga and Boink. Both players carrying the load a lot for their team. Ranga even has his own bracket, which declares Ranga basically in every spot. Then Boink, who was pretty impressive at ESEA-LAN in previous seasons, now carrying it over here. So we're probably going to get to see a lot of shenanigans tonight on Process, which is pretty well known for being a roamer's favorite map.
Yeah, there are a lot of jumps you can do on a Process as a roamer, and I'd really look to Boink kind of be the one who does more of the jumps, and Ranga's the one that kind of looks for the flanks and the frags kind of deal. It's kind of a differing playstyle between the two.
Yeah, I saw that a little bit the other night, so it'll be interesting to see how it boils out here, since roamers a lot of the time get relegated to the land of tiny spaces when they're holding on this map. So we'll see what they do, or how they choose to deal with it overall. I should also note that if you want to hop on over to Team Fortress TV, we're doing donations for the I-52 LAN series. There's a lot of cool stuff you can get out of it, including, I believe, a platinum-faced t-shirt. So lots of cool stuff, and they're great to watch, so it's a good investment if you really like watching TF2 and you want some cool stuff out of it, signed weapons and so on and the like. But yeah, Blank, so Process. I know in the past you haven't been a huge fan of Process. How you feeling about it now?
Fan. Still, well, the thing that impresses me, honestly, about TF2 maps is, for the longest time, I always said Process had the worst second in the game. But then, you know, you guys found a way to surprise me, and you came out with Sunshine, and that map actually has a worse second, in my opinion. So now we have a map with, you know, a pretty bad mid, the second worst second in the game, and I actually like the last on Process, but overall Process does play decently, but we'll have to see how these teams decide to play it out.
Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff can happen on this map, especially because it's got 3 doors on it, and there's a lot of maneuver and sort of rap play that can be done with that additional door that people aren't really used to dealing with, because most maps like Gully Wash, Granary, and for all intents and purposes Badlands really only have 2 routes for you to travel through. So that should be interesting, and the last, I feel like, plays pretty good. It's not one of those oh god, what are we gonna do about this last kind of last? It feels good, there's a lot of fighting to be had.
Yeah, it doesn't give me Yukon vibes, at least, for anybody that's ever played that map in sixes.
I got pushed off the pipe many a time.
Or, you know, Yukon last, when you see the heavy, and the NG, and the sniper, and they're like 10 miles back, and they can easily see you through any of the doors. Those are sad times. We don't talk about those.
Well, while we got a little bit of time to kill, I'll put you on the spot here. What are you thinking for predictions?
This map. Process. Process, I feel like, overall, every class can kind of contribute. I really think... Well, you guys said roamer special. To be honest, I feel like, more or less, you know where the roamers are going to be or what they're going to do. I'm actually probably going to put this game on... I'll do it old school. Predict 2 players from each team. For Mangachu's team, I think Mangachu's going to have a good game. But I think it's really going to be on Kosa and probably Kapow to step it up for this team. And then for Ding Dong Daddy, I think Ump's just going to pump out damage like he does. Ranga's he's gonna do his kind of shenanigans and whatnot, try to get frags, but Showstopper's gonna have to have a good game, and I think Ben is gonna have to be the standout scout because I think Alec, going by the stats, has like the most damage, or the most frags or something like that as scouts in IM, but that really means his partner has to step it up tonight if they want to pull out the W.
Solid thinking. I don't know, I know there's a lot of hype around Ding Dong Daddy going into this, so I don't really know. I haven't watched them play a tremendous amount this season. I know in the match 2 days ago, I saw Zero Era struggle with some stuff that's gonna come into play here on Process, although Boink may be more of a factor, because the last map was Granary, and they ended up in a lot of stalemates. So, on those Granary stalemates, your roamer is basically negated. You can't really do a whole lot with him there, unless it's part of a bigger push. This map, you got the nice big open choke, maybe you can fly through and do some stuff. But, I don't know. I'm not really gonna bounce one way or the other, as far as a prediction on this one. I hope it's pretty good. I've got that 5-3 vibe. I don't know just who I want to put it on.
You don't know who you want to put it on? Well, I'm gonna be the big man here, and how do I want to call this? I'm gonna call a 5-4 on Umph. That's my call. I believe in the Gabor.
Yeah, Umph has been around a while, and I feel like his playstyle would be pretty good for this map because he tends to be really involved, and that's like the direct opposite of how Kosa plays. Generally, if you, at least in my experience with Umph, if you see the pocket, Umph is like somewhere around, or he's totally gone or dead or something, but generally he's gonna be around somewhere, whereas Kosa tends to take it a lot more slow, and he's generally like the last guy in.
I think it's like you said, this map, I mean, sure, stalemates happen, but really, you know, people kind of think of roamers and cracking a stalemate, but in my mindset, probably the better class for cracking a stalemate is really a demo map that chooses to get involved, because there are a lot of sight lines where you can just peek, and really, you know, realistically, you can shoot at scouts, soldiers, medics, even the other demo if he isn't looking at you, and kind of just get a lot of damage without them ever really fighting or touching you back, and that's where I think Umph could be the trump card that really pushes this in Ding Dong Daddy's favor.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty good. We got a little bit of aliasing going on here for our match, so I'll just go over stuff real quick. You can probably help me out here, Blank, since you probably know better. But Confident Carl is Schnell for the night, and then I believe Maui is Peyote, I think.
Yep, that's correct.
And then there's also the thing going around that this Quaz type is not actually Kapow, it's some sort of legendary Euro Scout, but it's definitely Kapow.
I mean, it's got the avatar, you know, and everything. Yeah, it's Kapow.
And I would really want some internet that would give me 30 ping from Europe.
30 ping? I've never played with 30 ping outside of pubbing, so I don't know what it's like in a match.
Me either. And you used to play that soldier class, so you were in the basic ping torture zone.
I played the 80 ping soldier class, you know, it's a pretty good time. It's not really with 80 ping.
And then DBW, I believe, is playing from Austria, so I imagine she's kind of pulling an all-nighter here for this one. But I didn't really see the ping affect her that much. I played with 150 ping a few times on mid, and it wasn't that bad. It felt a little bit like you were walking through pudding on occasion, but it wasn't super bad.
If you're not a very arrow-dependent medic, but in my eyes, that puts you at a disadvantage. It's pretty relevant, but another thing with DBW is she does have to relatively pop early from playing against her. I've noticed, like, if you ever touch her with damage, she has to pop, because she has to assume, you know, for that delay, that you can't really extra melt, because you very likely drop when you have a higher ping.
Yeah, because you got a few seconds delay, especially on the projectiles. You can't really tell, since it's server side, there's that slight delay on it.
Yeah.
Looks like we're getting pretty close here. I believe I see 12 players in the server, so should be pretty soon, hopefully, maybe, possibly.
Oh yeah, apparently my TF2 crashed. I should probably rejoin the Source TV. Be a pretty good idea.
Is the DDoSing starting already?
It could be. They're always out to get me, Marxist.
Yeah, I don't know. I did get to solo cast the last ever G-Pit played in ESEA though, so I think that one's on Team Fortress TV's YouTube. But yeah, so while you were in internet oblivion, I got to see the last G-Pit.
Well, gee, I'm jealous of that.
I really liked the G-Pit, but that was just me. I don't think too many people super agree with me on that map choice.
After you've played the map enough, G-Pit for me, you lose it. It loses its luster.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, the thing that got it for me, I know it's processed tonight, but I'll pontificate. Like, the thing that got me for G-Pit was everybody always wanted to do the same thing, and I felt like it was a map that really rewarded experimentation. Yeah, a lot of those experiments had kind of been worked out, but it was just fun for me, because you'd be like, well, let's try this crazy new thing. Oh, we got destroyed. Or occasionally, you'd have a beautiful 2-minute round.
Yep. Or, you know, sometimes you see the hold that just the other team cannot manage to crack, and you see the 15 to 16 minute defense timers.
Yeah, or you get to go through that experience, and everybody feels very sleepy afterwards.
Yeah. And by the way, has told me about 30 seconds ago that they went live, so...
Oh boy. So I believe on our first mid we'll be watching Kosa, so if you want to take that one, since I got the intro, that would be fine by me.
So Kosa, looks like he's using the Alibaba's Wee Booties right now. He's got 200 HP on demo. That's kind of broken.
He's trying to get that extra fast rollout to,
Man, 300
to
HP? You're like a soldier, except, like, better. That's kind of dumb. But,
yeah.
Well, honestly, he's not using cannonballs, which, in my opinion, that shouldn't be allowed in ESEA. I personally don't like it.
The cannonballs?
I don't mind the double dock damage, but, I hate the fact that it just, like, knocks you around the map. In my opinion, anything that can drastically affect movement that much shouldn't be allowed in competitive play.
Yeah, I know, it can really bobble you sometimes. It kind of takes you to the pain zone of getting juggled by a soldier a million times, but only slightly much worse. So yeah, I know some people are going to look at that one probably, and the booties too. I'd say for this map, the booties are a pretty important part to how this is all evolved, because it's viable for the roamer to get there faster than the demo, even if the demo doesn't roll out perfect. And that puts the demo without the booties in a really crappy situation where he's just gonna get 1-degged basically and die.
That reminds me of Brian's, roamer special speed rollouts, and it looks like we're going live, and I have to give a quick shout out to my boy Memphis Vaughn, the legend himself. But alright, so we're watching Kosa this first bit. Who do you think's gonna win the first bit?
I'm gonna go give it to the more aggressive team in Ding Dong.
Going against the guy that we're going to be watching. Alright, well, let's see how they lose it from the demo man's perspective. Oh, Kosa actually hitting a really nice rollout, putting his first sticky by the pack. Omp's actually able to take the pack here. Really quick rollout by Boink onto the demo, not really able to do anything. Kosa's already kind of banged up the heavy classes on Ding Dong Daddy. Zero Arrow should be able to take this. There comes the first frag, the second frag. And this should be their mid-fight. Schnell does go down. DBW's down to 14 HP, but they're actually able to stay in. No, this big of an advantage now. They've got to be winning. That's a nice arrow by Peyote. Is it enough to save Umph? Oh my gosh. Umph, nope. Umph goes down. Medic's trying to leave us 64% with the scout. And that is a mid-fight win to Zero Error there.
Yeah, so I was totally wrong on that one. They actually played a pretty passive mid, so didn't see that one. Ranga gets turned to bits there, trying to bomb onto second. Uber is going to come in time for Peyote, so we'll probably just see a little bit of a cooldown here unless they start working in right away, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I would have said if they had moved right off of that pick they had on Ranga, they could have potentially done something. Here comes the Boink Bomb, trying to land on Peyote, drops him down to about 43 points of health, but... So... Here we have some good old stalemating, Marks. So what do you think Boink's gonna do? Spy? Heavy? Boink's my son, and I don't think he plays sniper outside of pubs. Yeah, he comes back up soldier here, so... Not sure what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know either. They did the same thing last night. Oh, so they do the spawn switcheroo. Boink goes down, opens the spawn door for Confident Carl, aka Schnell. And he's gonna go in for the sniping. Schnell's actually pretty good at the sniper man, so we'll see. we'll also, yeah, there goes one right away. So that's the Pocket and Showstopper down. That's pretty much as good as you're probably going to get out of this. Moving a wee mite slow, and they're going through the bottom left door, which I don't really know how I feel about this deep down inside, but they're going to try to make it work. Uber's still not popped. There we go. So the Uber is going to come out now from Peyote. Showstopper is back alive now. Kapow's going to go down up top, and that's pretty much going to be the end of the last push. Sniper's going to get a point-blank headshot on Ben K there, and Ranga's going to go down too. Might see some counter-aggression come in now.
Yeah, we have Chanel actually still sniping from the rollout there. Xero Error definitely should have been able to move in there, but they kind of made a critical mistake with their medic and their demo there. They had 2 picks to work with. All they had to do was get in the lobby and then spread out the map, but instead they chose to hang out bottom left there. And recognizing that, just shot a couple of stickies, and the medic and the demo for Xero Error weren't able to get in, nor were they able to spread HP. So we're likely to stalemate out of here again, Marxist.
Yeah, and we've still got the sniper duel going on here, so the other thing, yeah, there goes Boink. We preempted the suicide. Pretty passive play here on second from Xero Error with their sniper and Schnell all the way in the back. The push out is actually coming, but they're gonna lose or not Ump there, but yeah, Ump. So he's gonna go down. That's gonna get the push going. Showstopper's gonna go down right away. Uber is finally going to get popped here. That's probably going to be enough to save the point, I would say. Sniper's trying to do stuff on that right side. Soldiers with him. Mangachu's going to drop out, so it's no pockets for anybody. And the confident sniper will be taken out.
Yeah, I was watching the medic play there coming out of Peyote. It was actually a pretty critical mistake to drop Showstopper there. But kind of the thing that turned around is Mangachu did commit in a little bit too deep after he already had the 2-pick advantage here. But it looks like off of those picks, Ding Dong Daddy finally going to be able to push out of their last, and they should be able to secure 2 maybe. But a lot of their players are deep in the red though, Marxist.
Yeah, Boink did get thrown to the ground pretty spectacularly there. It was one of those meat in the air shots, so figured I should draw attention to that one. But yeah, it looks like they held out okay. I don't think it was realized just how low those Ding Dong Daddy players were. It was like 5 people at 90 health or less all across, and they were all down in the pit of death, but no pushes were had. And probably going to see a mid-stalemate here with the initiative on probably, I would say, Boink.
Alright, well, knowing Boink, there's probably we're going to see some really crazy skip jump through choke. Calling it right now, let's see. Now he's pushing towards the sewer here. His buff is decaying right now. He's going to be about 220 if he peeks this door. Has a scout peeking it instead. He's just kind of chilling here. So they have 2 guys in the sewer. And the rest of the team kind of pushed up towards choke. Nothing really happening right now, though.
Yeah, they're not really doing much at the moment. I kind of really like sewer pushing on this map, but obviously not in an Uber situation where you got an Uber standing up on the spire. Probably wouldn't be for your best, but, you know, in some situations it turns out pretty good. Heals not being spread, so I don't think we're gonna see too much pushing just happening yet.
Nah, this is kind of a scenario where, you know, if I was a scout on, say, Xero Era, I'd take a buff, kind of like peek around the choke, see what's nearby, as it looks like a scout is going to go down. I'd say a trade actually favors Xero Era here, and they're managed to get 2 picks in this sewer. So Ding Dong Daddy overextending there, that should cue the push from Xero Era here. Looks like Koso walking through the choke is going to meet a pocket soldier there with Uber. Neither team has exchanged him. Mangachu's all the way up top behind him, Marxist.
Yeah, he does and the Uber is actually going to get popped on him, so we got a really awkward Uber that's down on the ground. Boink's gonna manage to secure a kill on Umph again, and this soldier is dead for sure. Air suspended is Showstopper, so that's I would go ahead for the last push. No demo, may as well. It's never gonna get any better, so we'll see them working their way in, or maybe at least thinking about it. They're going down the right side, Blank.
Yeah, far right side's a really good door, as you can see, because the rest of the team, they can, like, take control of this half of the map, kind of have high ground, but they're taking too long, and the players for Ding Dong Daddy are respawning. Medic goes down, a lot of players in the deep red here. This is where it comes down to a DM fight. 3v3 right now. 3v2, who's gonna win this? You have a healthy scout and soldier. The scout and the soldier should win this 3-man scenario. We have a scout 1v1, 40 to 23 health. And Ben with the clutch double meat saves the round for Ding Dong Daddy. So I was right there, the 2v3. Soldier Scout triumphs and saves the day.
Yeah, and you and vindicates your prediction of Ben K having to have a pretty good game.
Yeah.
He saved that one.
Yeah, if Ben missed that shot there and Kapow lands the shot, that's definitely a 1-0 there for zero error. So Ben stepping up to the plate, just like I said he had to there. So nice job from him.
We do have the Alex Sniper out already in defense, standing in the bottom left side. Probably going to see some sort of suicide get broken down here, eventually to try and crack this nut, although there is a wee bit of advantage on the defenders too, so for me that would speed things up, but apparently they're not going to do anything until they get that Uber all the way built.
Yeah, for a lot of teams, a 15% advantage is negligible to them. So realistically, if you don't kill the other team's medic within 6 seconds of you getting it, you know, they're just going to counterpop.
Well, I meant for the suicide, like, just do it fast, because chances are they had it already.
That is true. So we are going to have, I don't know, cue the Roamer death right about now. Oh, there you go. So we're probably going to have the Confident Carl. This is something kind of metagamey. Oh, it looks like they're doing it. Looks like Confident Carl isn't pushing out. Tries to look like the counter set, but blue team getting a lot of damage on the scouts here. Really going for those sticky snipes. So kind of like I said, in the stalemate scenario, Demo Man sticky sniping is really good, because as you saw, the scout just can't fight back and he nearly gets dropped. But what I was going to say is, you know, if blue team recognized that Zero Error was going to swap their scout to snipe, there's kind of a small opening there. Red team only has 4 players holding the second, and I was wondering whether or not they try to push out on that.
Yeah, and it almost worked out. The only problem with that is you've got that sniper kind of dragging you down, so you've really only got 5. So it's like it's still a 5v4, but it kind of limits your options there. Unless you can get a lot of ground and your sniper stays with you, then maybe you could get really lucky, but who knows. But yeah, so we're probably going to just get to see Boink go do stuff again. We've got both soldiers kind of having a powwow down there. But maybe not, who knows. Might try running in a scout. Stranger things have happened. Actually, we're going to lose Kapow, so he tried to test things out there on the bottom right side or left side, depending on your perspective. Gets turned into meat. So we'll probably see him do his thing. We'll see if they try to opt out of the sniper. A little bit of pushing going around. Ranga's actually going to go down. As far as counter-suicides go, that's not a very good one. That's going to come really late.
Yeah, Ranga should be up by the time the Ubers fade for both teams. So it looks like an exchange is about to happen. Yeah, Ranga should be coming alive. Quite a bit of multing coming out of Mangachu. Is he going to get the frag on Umph on the far side? Yes, he does, and he draws the Uber. The rest of his team is going to be able to walk in on the left. Kapow just gets 2-shot there. However, as I said, Ranga is up. He is the difference maker. It looks like he's able to kill Bourne, and he's getting really good rockets on the medic. Drops her down to 16 health. Oh, but Confident Carl, Schnell with the... Oh my god, Schnell killing everybody here. Going to last. He needs to turn around for the soldier. That's the only way he wins this situation. Oh, come on, Schnell, land the shot. No, but he gets the clutch 2K there and saves DBW. Really nice play coming out of it.
Yeah, it was huge from Schnell. Almost got it down to a disaster zone situation on Ding Dong Daddies. That was solid. Boink also managed to get 2 kills there at the end, and I thought that might have been it for the Ding Dong Daddy defense, but it held together, even losing its medic and one of its scouts there in one fell rocket. So, pretty solid D so far. We're going to pull up an even heavier D, the vaunted double util NG Sniper D.
That's a lot of Ds there, Marxist.
It looks like the Uber is going to come in. It's going to run into a sentry gun and get thrown around. The counter Uber comes out. DBW's in huge trouble. She's down. So that's going to be a big thing here if Peyote can manage to survive. They are diving him hard. Boink's going in, but we still have a living Peyote. Big surf! Still living Peyote. Well played there to Peyote. Manages to surf out of all those crappy situations. Nice little hook there at the end. And that's going to be second for Ding Dong Daddy.
Yeah, I think DBW potentially overestimating her Uber advantage there. While she did manage to live, there was about a solid 10-second time frame where she wasn't healing. So that's about, 25% like just advantage that she thought she had, but was really actually not there. As we do have the push coming in the middle here from Ding Dong Daddy. Both teams only have one player deep in the red. People still relatively healthy. Trying to battle this out. This is almost like a mid-fight here. As we do have soldier jumps coming in. Peyote dropping pretty low here. All of blue deep in the red. They need to leave this fight or collect packs right now. They do manage to get a pick though that will potentially equalize things. Peyote really only getting health on his pocket soldier right now, and the pocket soldier goes down. Oh, this is a lot of scrappy fighting. Peyote's about to have Uber. He should know that he has the advantage. Mangachu goes down. He's pushing with his scout. They need to collapse and choke right now. Here comes the force. They get the scout, and they get both scouts and the demo. They should really chase this into 2 here.
Yeah, it looks like they duck out lower. We'll see what DBW decides to do here. I think she's pretty much okay unless someone dives in right now. They didn't go for it. So now we're in the awkward situation where you've got Uber at last and you know it's a tremendous advantage.
Well, if I was in their shoes right now, this is where I'd try to get everybody buffed up and in a forward position. You're trying to fish to see whether or not you can get a clean entry or get a pick. Because if you can get a pick with the Uber advantage, you can kind of float that into a push, and it looks like that's what Xero is trying to do, but rather than fish for the pick, yeah, Mangachu goes down. They need to leave right now and just reset it last. They bleed a scout as well. Oh, but they're still committing out on this 2-cat. This is really risky with 3 players. Where's their medic? This is kind of overcommitment. Maybe Umph goes down, but they should just chill here. They got more than enough. I feel like Ding Dong Daddy there being potentially really afraid of an Uber without actually showing any presence in I feel like that's a little bit of a mistake, as it looks like a pushing now because they have the Uber. Boink goes down, the pop does come out relatively early, counter pop comes out from DBW. They really need to get out of this. The positioning afterwards for Peyote is really terrible. Red team should be able to take advantage, but no, they're kind of just clustering on point. This is kind of a coin toss in my opinion. Health bad on both sides, but it looks like red team trading out the frags here. Blue finally gonna potentially pull away. And there they go. That was kind of interesting. I feel like DBW really left too, and her team managed to get the kill, but then blue team recognized that and walked in, as we have a sniper headshot happening, a lot of action happening here. These teams are just walking into each other, and it looks like Ding Dong Daddy's gonna come away with the first round there off of just that aggression like I talked about at the start, Marxist. So, whereas most teams would have stalemated there in a 5v5 scenario, neither team having Uber. Ding Dong Daddy, they just did the screw it, let's push.
Yeah, and it can turn out pretty solid for you there. It was risky, but they got on the point quick, so we're watching up here on this mid. Almost lost track of what we were doing there. We're going to lose Ranga right away. Not a ton of damage coming out for that death, and Ben K also down, so that's a busted mid. 2 players down, really can't fight anymore unless you got something right in your face. Actually, players already behind there. Mangachu's gonna get the kill. Actually, 2 kills there, and we're gonna lose Umph as well there. So, not too much doing for that mid, and ascendant mid for Xero. Got Peyote there hanging out at last too in a pretty precarious position.
Yeah, but Xero should recognize the fact that he was desynced for so long and not healing, and they really don't have much of a point to be stacking this team. They should already be pushing in, taking positioning at last. I feel like this is kind of a mistake. But Xero, I mean, they had, I think, everybody stay alive at middle. Like, there's no reason not to float that in the last when they had that big of an Uber advantage. They're really overestimating how much Peyote had there. They had like a 50% advantage, and this has just gone to waste.
It's not the quick fix era anymore. That Uber was not very big. So, unfortunate for Xero there. Bit of an error. But, oh wow, somebody in Scout on the point almost gets a half cap. There's on Kapow. So, the old sticky trap's gonna manage to grab him there. And we'll see what he chooses to come up as, or if they do anything crazy. Headshot's going down. Kosa is gonna manage to bag himself a Ranga. Probably a little bit of a suicide, counter-suicide there. But Mangachu's gonna get another kill onto Umph. There's pretty much no reason in the world not to push, except Mangachu's gonna get boom body shotted there, and that's gonna slow things down just a tad, I think.
Yeah, but it looks like, are they choosing a... Oh, I do not agree with this Uber at all. They bring in the Scout and the Demo when they had already bled the Soldier, and the picks that they had just gotten, as you can see, are now revived for Ding Dong Daddy, so they should just stalemate out here. It's a little bit fortunate that Ding Dong Daddy had the 2 off classes, or otherwise they really would have been able to chase that with the 2 scout. So as you can see there, the strength of the off classes is, you know, it makes you really strong at turtling, but any sort of aggression that you can do afterwards is really poor, because Sniper and Heavy, not the best classes pushing out. As we see a headshot coming out of Kapow on Alex, so a little bit of a sniper fight coming out here.
Yeah, the duel won this time by Kapow. Confident Carl's gonna go down there, so no more Schnell and no more Sniper either. So this opens the window for Ding Dong Daddy to get out here and do stuff. Scout goes in and Ben K right away. He gets lit up. Then they're gonna have to run away, but Boink is gonna go down. So that's 3 downs. That's definitely a point here for the Ding Dong Daddies.
Please do not do this, Mangachu. He's doing it. He's blocking the point with the super. Gets a lot of damage on the Scout. He's really getting destroyed here, and yeah, I don't agree with this at all. Blue team should just chase in the middle with this. They maybe get a frag to happen here. Yeah, Scout goes down. It's 6v5 here. Kosa trying to fight at the choke. Mangachu, you don't have health to stay here. You're gonna go down. Blue team, both teams relatively hurt, but red team with the advantage. Boinks comes in with a huge buff. Does a lot of damage and a lot of frags are gonna happen, but Alec is behind. He drops the dem. He has a 1v2 scenario here. If he can maybe kill the Scout, no, he's gonna go down. And this is actually going to be a retake here. Wow, so I don't know. I don't want Mangachu to Uber there, because as I knew, his Uber wasn't really going to do anything, as you saw. But Boink kind of with the big flank, and I believe he went through sewer, and jumps behind all of Ding Dong Daddy and does about, you know, 400 damage there spread across 3 people, and this team just follows up and like secures a bunch of frags.
Yeah, it was. I had that, especially because of how close the point was. I had doubts there for Mangachu, but Boink in the end pretty much decided it. I felt like Ranga bombed in a little early there, or maybe his team wasn't really loaded up enough to chase that through, because he jumped in, got a pretty decent damage when they're all grouped up, and then his team just disappeared forever, never to be seen again.
Yeah, I think the rest of his team is turning around to deal with Kapow, who is behind it, but at the same time, I know Ranga was one of the targets that Mangachu shot with a Zuber, and he dropped him to about half HP, so, you know, a roamer bomb with 100 health, not really ideal when you're playing the roaming soldier class.
Yeah, after you've been turned to Swiss cheese, kind of hard to fly, I guess. So we'll see.
Not very aerodynamic there.
Yep. We got the sniper duel again coming out here between Kapow and Alec. Kapow peeking out, looking for something. Soldier's kind of harassing him, actually gonna kill him. So he won't get meated there, but he will turn into a tiny little heap on the ground. Mangachu, though, gonna do the stand still strat and get domed, so this will be another push-out opportunity. And actually, Boink's gonna go down as well, so that's another trade over second.
Yeah, it looks like it. However, DBW is able to retain the Uber here. Mangachu is going to come up, Showstopper, kind of pushing way too deep with the solo Uber. Probably not sure with the pop there. This is where, like I said, DBW has the tendency to pop Ubers really, really early, but it doesn't really matter here. As I said, Showstopper going way too far with that solo Uber here, and his team is going to completely wipe.
Yeah, it was too deep, not enough support. I like to, since we're going to see an easy second cap here and probably shenanigans at last, Mangachu really wants to go. Maybe I won't get to pontificate. Yeah, so he's going to be on there. They go out the right side door. Probably should see the cap go down here unless something sort of disaster occurs. Umph actually going pretty big, managed to get some kills, but the equalizer's going to come out, but it doesn't matter. Scout defending the point. Scout v Demo. Usually you would favor the Scout. Yeah, 2 Scouts now, so that's too much for the Demo, and they're not going to get that.
Marxist, you know how you said Mangachu shenanigans? That's a throw right there. When you're ahead that many key picks, there's no reason for you to RJ in the last and shoot at their 2 buff spawns when you're 150 health. So, what should have been a freebie in making this a 1-1 game is now still a 1-0, with, looks like red team trying to push into the second here.
Yeah, and the Ubers are going to come out. Actually going to get some pipe death there for Mangachu. So this should be a pretty solid situation if we can get positioning for Ding Dong to come out here. They're looking pretty seriously about this lobby situation. Don't want the back caps to happen. I don't think they know where Kapow is, but I'm reasonably sure we've got a Kapow running around on mid, so They're going to push in now to mid with Uber advantage. It would be a tragedy if things happened, and they do, so that's no more peyote.
That's what you call the corner strat there, Marx. Kapow just sat in that left corner at the choke point, you know. 3 people walk by without looking at it, in between stickies and big ol' Vershi blows cannonballs from Kosa Beard the pirate and the Kapow flank. Things went really sour for Ding Dong Daddy.
Yeah, that going through that choke there is super dangerous. And I know you've been playing Medic this season as well, but for me, like that, I really don't want to go in there. I want a lot of space to be in front of me before I ever go through the choke with an advantage like that.
Yeah, this season on Medic, there have been a lot of growing pains, and I knew that'd be the case, as the Uber does come out here from Mangachu. Kosa goes down at the start of this, no frags really happening, a lot of people really deep in the red. We do have the offensive heavy coming out of Kapow, but he does not get his crit heal. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it is. Heavy is a class in Team Fortress 2, and we have a 1-to-1 game finally, Marxist.
It's like, I think I did the last mid, but I'll hand it off. You were watching Boink this mid, I think, is the choice.
That roamer special, as we call it.
No super fast rollout, though.
Oh no, he whiffed the jump as he's 230 here. If he jumps, he's 210. Uh-oh, gets air stickied by really getting destroyed. He's gonna have to go for the long flank here as he picks up the pack. No, he's not doing the long flank. He's doing the double back. His team already winning the mid fight. He should reload, kill that scout. There you go. 2 rockets. No, he does 1 rocket. Okay, 2 rockets because you can shoot the demo after you jump. Does hit him for 60 here. It should be another kill. There you go. Really late demo death is actually huge. This is where, if I'm Xero Air, whoever's your scout that caps middle, you have him cap 2 and you start taking positioning and lobby prepping the push left. That way, you know, you spot what off classes they're running and whatnot, as well as the fact, you know, they're not their demo man is still dead, so you don't have the threat of a trap up. But it looks like Xero Air playing it the more slow, you know, the more safe approach, and they're just gonna grind out, make sure they get the Uber before they have any presence, and they're gonna have the harder push in.
Yeah, and we have the Alex Sniper again, so it's pretty much their mainstay here, but we're going to lose Schnell. Again, the Uber is going to come. Scout on the point, not a lot there. Oh, wow. Wow. I don't know if you saw that, Blank, but Kapow stepped off the point to avoid a rocket, and he probably would have just capped it.
Well, it doesn't look like I didn't see as, truthfully, I was taking another swig of whiskey, but, I'll take your word on it, as they still managed to get the round. I mean, you know, Uber advantage, pushing laps to get a bunch of picks. That should be a freebie, as, I'm gonna watch a scout this mid. Oh, Alex been sniping a lot, but I want to see some scout action on this mid fight, Marxist.
Yeah, it seems like a good idea.
Yeah, as he's doing the double jump up top, gets his delayed buff, which I've kind of noticed he does all season. Really damage trading on that soldier, but not doing much coming of it. The rest of his team dying, he manages to pick the soldier. Oh, well, Kosa Beard knocks him over with a dunk, and he drops to 9 HP. That's when you're in the sad zone as a scout.
Yeah, mid's not going too well for the Ding Dong Daddies. They tend to find themselves getting grouped up, and then something eventually just happens to them where they either feel the need to try to push and give a pick, or someone just dunks on them, and then when they're all grouped up, and then that's pretty much the end of the mid. But we should see an Uber come out pretty quick. Actually, kind of interesting choice here from Ben K to go NG. I don't know if he's going to really be given the amount of time to get his level 3, but Xero Air are trying to help as much as they can, and they give Mangachu as a sticky trap pick there, so even more helpful, but the Uber is going to come in. They're going to try to go up that left side. Ben K is going to pick up the sentry gun. They're trying to kill him, but he's going to put it back down. It's not shooting the point because it's not built, and that's going to be the 3rd round for Xero Air.
That's a 3-to-1. So, Ding Dong Daddy with the classic try to hide and spawn, come out, potentially re-engage. Fortunately, last is a point that caps really quickly there. Things that were looking pretty good for Ding Dong Daddy, but you know, when you run in the spawn, the other team just steps on your point, you lose.
Yeah, especially on this map where you sort of have that upper area that lets you rotate organically. Like, I can understand going into spawn on the map like Badlands where you don't, your space to rotate is pretty limited, but on this one, if you're at disadvantage like that, just stand up on the balc and wait to see which way they go in and don't be on that side. Then you're fine.
Well, you know, another option you could have, something I guess only my team does, is you hold close up to the doors and get a team to pop Uber in an unfavorable position. Then you kite it back to last and fight around the point, but, so, one thing I noticed at the mid-fights, Marxist, as we both noted, is Ding Dong Daddy kind of getting spanked on mid. The team kind of seems to bank on Ranga getting good aggression. The problem with a map-like process is, you know, it's really easy for things to get up top and sort of deny you. Another thing is, sometimes, you know, he goes too quick before his team's ever really in a position to follow up. And kind of another thing I noticed is, with Xero Air's sort of passive mids, I like to call a passive mid a control mid, where you kind of anticipate the other team's going to try to do something to you, so you just, you know, you focus on receiving it and responding to it really well, and they really just seem to have Ranga's number, and with him being shut down, you know, Ding Dong Daddy just seems like they can't find their, you know, their stride on this mid-fight.
Yeah, because they've been pretty rough there. And if you know that a team tends to revolve around your roamer opening engagements, it can be a vulnerability when the other team figures it out.
Yeah, it definitely is, looks...
My mumble decided to disappear? Are we here
there
still?
we go. The DDoS is real, Marxist. The curse is back.
Yeah, so we were hoping to go for the, Oh, and we lost Dash. Alright, so there we go. So Dashner's back now. A little bit of mumble problems there, my apologies. So we'll just go ahead and do that bird's eye mid on the next one, because we're sure to get another mid here.
I hate to show off Marxist. I think it said that people sit down talking if you are Mr. Bob. Yeah, not Eric coming out with another mid-fight win, about a 25 Uber ad here. Mangachu existing at the choke kind of by himself. If he gets teammates here, potentially they could use this. Looks like he's electing to rotate IT here with the Uber. No, is this team stalemate? Looks like it's gonna even out here. We're gonna have a typical process stalemate on 2. I don't particularly agree with the positioning for the medic of Ding Dong Daddy. I don't like holding above the point as a medic on this map. There you go. Where he's playing now is kind of where I play. Wait, what is this hold? They're doing my hold. They are doing my they're doing my disadvantage hold. So we got some copycats up in here. As they copy the hold. This is a pretty strong hold in my opinion for disad, because your medic's tucked away in a position where you can force them. Everybody's on the high ground, you know. But I do actually have a couple of tweaks I do to this hold. But this is the one I like to run last season, and it's pretty good. Pretty good when you're at disad, and you know, well, not even disad, like equal, and you know the bombs are coming. As you can see, everyone on the high ground. Not sure what Boeing's gonna be able to do here, Marxist, but it sounds like your internet's a-okay again. Talk to me, buddy.
Yeah, mobile seemed to be having some trouble there. I think we had a little bit of a hiccup there on the server side. But, yeah, I agree with you there as far as being tucked away. I vary it up, you know, left side being tucked away and right side being tucked away. Either or is pretty good for disadvantage, or in this situation where you know Xero error is coming in, and you don't know where they're going to try to bring it from, although you've got a pretty good idea that it's going to go through choke. Because it's pretty rare that you see roamer bombs come from any other place, really. There he goes, a huge
there comes the
jump.
Boink jump, as he's going to land there, get about 70 damage on the medic before it gets picked apart. But as you can see, you know, everybody on the high ground, and it looks like the medic has... This is the... You are now in the sad zone, as the red team is... If I was Ding Dong Daddy, by now it's kind of late. It doesn't look like your team's going to get it. And this is where I actually give up too, and I just choose to defend last. Start setting up. Maybe, you know, kind of hold back on 2 spam as you go, as it does look like a force comes out, but realistically, if the other team is Uber, you're going to bleed a lot of people if you stay. They only lose a scout, no, they lose a scout and a roamer. This is pretty crucial right now. This is where Zero Error Gaming needs to identify you have the 2-man advantage, you should start pushing now. There's not really a reason to stack the point, because you're not denying these spawns anyway. You need to get in right now and establish positioning before they come up. As I'm watching the Coast account, our soldier and a scout step onto the point, both teams trading a frag, scout for demo, but Zero Error Gaming might have made the critical mistake on this push. And yeah, it looks like they're all gonna go down. DBW is not making it out of there. This is where you kill Bun, there you go. If you push in on a push because you're up on picks, you never rush the point. All you simply want to do is look for more frags and abuse the fact you have more guns and more people, and you just pick a bunch of different doors. The other team cannot fight you, but they rush the point there. Ding Dong Daddy able to hold them. We have a push in the mid, Marxist.
Yep, scouts going through, actually going out on the low ground is Ben K, not really expecting anything there out of Zero Error, and I don't think we're gonna see it, so we now have the super huge Uber advantage, and we'll see if a tragedy occurs. They're gonna push IT, and this gives me the heebie-jeebies, because bad things can happen to you up in here. They're gonna get popped, they're homing out onto second. I don't think anything else is really gonna happen. That soldier is still kicking around somewhere, but they're gonna grab second there. DBW is gonna have the Uber advantage. Now you can see if you want to try anything cheeky to maybe try and get DBW out of this this Uber having situation, or if they'll just leave it like they did last time.
If I was in DBW's shoes, what I'd kind of do is I wouldn't really edge rollout. Rollout's the most predictable spot for your combo to come from, and as you can see, they're just gonna have to pot, because it's really easy to eat spam there. Mangachu kind of showing off that he used to play roamer in the past, and he does a double jump, in a choke, and it looks like we had the scout back cast, so Bank, the man that I said had to step it up for Ding Dong Daddy to bring it, bring this game to a close for his team, stepping it up there, win a scout v scout on the flank somewhere, and bringing it to a 3-2 game, Marxist.
Yeah, so last time before the Mumble kicked out, we were going to do a special bird's eye view mid, so I think that's what we're doing this time, getting to watch both the demos kind of spam each other. See up there, or Kosa rather, favor the middle side, up going on the left side, trying to spam things out. Bomb comes in from red, gonna grab DBW and Boink there. Ranga and Showstopper both go down though. No soldiers at mid though, not a huge problem. Red trying to negotiate their crate over here. Gonna lose Ben K, was over by himself, and now we've got a 3v3 that's quickly being lost by Zero Error, but Mangachu's gonna bomb in here, probably. Nope, not gonna do anything just yet. Scout gonna come through. Pretty hard times there on the medic, you don't really know what to do. Getting bombed, trying to surf. Wow, really nice negotiation of that choke point there.
Oh my god, how is he alive?
The health point will be grabbed, but he'll get signed down.
Even though that was almost really nice from Mangachu, the problem with what his team just did, as you can see, is they're 2 down for this push in to their second, because their spawns are so delayed off of that really, really late sack for the medic here. So, Peyote walking in through the sewer side, DBW is going to be able to get this Uber, as long as red team identifies that, and potentially, oh, it's a Crits Krieg I hear pop. Oh, pops right as the crit scout is there. Uh-oh, Mangachu's gonna go down. Are they floating it in rollout? No, they like to back up here. This is where you re-engage through lobby or something. You never really want to re-engage from the same place you pushed in. There you go. 2 soldiers coming in. Uh-oh. There's this heavy weapons guy at left. The big 450 meat tank just mowing down soldiers. You jump and you see a heavy
for you.
Yeah, you're just crying a little bit on the inside. You're like, what is TF2? What is life? Why am I here? As he sends you to the forward spawn.
Yep, well, that's all you can say. Scout hiding spot here, 8 health. Almost. The crits is going to come out just as desperation, I guess, from DBW. Try and get something done, but nothing happening. Still going to manage to snag this point. Is Zero Error, but the push is coming. You don't really want that point there to be a Pyrrhic victory, but the Uber drops.
The Uber drops, Marxist, the Uber drops. I saw Showstopper hit a really, really nice air shot onto a bombing soldier, and You know, when you have two soldiers in the air looking at you about to land on your head as medic, there's zero reason really to chance there. Like, even if you surf, like, one rocket, both of them are going to be hitting you at the same time, and if anything touches, or both those rockets are about 80 damage, you just die. And that right there, Peyote getting a little bit greedy on the milk there, I have to say, and dropping what could be potentially a game-changing Uber here.
Yeah, the momentum's definitely going to pass out of their favor. I'd like to see Zero Error try to work the high ground here. Yeah, there we go. So there's a scout up there now. People are going to start to get afraid of him. Ben's going to go down, and that's going to be the end of it. Going to drop your demo there, too, and so that'll be the end of mid. Soldier bombing through super fast, and boy, going to drop down a little bit, trying to get out now. Scout's trying to chase him, not going to make it. Scout's going to try and dunk out in Alec, but it's not going to happen. He's going down. So we've got no demo, no scout here. Pushing forward is Zero Error, dropping into lobby.
Ooh. Yeah, a lot of picks happening here. I like this. Moving on the momentum. And this is actually, you know, a little bit different from how Zero Error normally plays. Waiting to finally get the Uber. Oh, really early pop here. Not actually going to get anything. Maybe Ump drops to 13 HP. This is where you leave. Actually, your medic isn't leaving. This is where your Uber's really bad and you're likely gonna die, maybe? You know what's happening. Okay, a lot of people are dying. So the medic does manage to get Mangachu stuck behind. He's dead in a couple of seconds. There we go. So we have a medic scout demo at 2, waiting for the push out coming from Ding Dong Daddy, and this should be a free 2 retake for them, Marxist.
Yep, and the Ubers are close enough. I don't think it's gonna come into play here, but Mangachu is dead, so I mean, you could have tried to negotiate that. One thing that I really like, I don't know if this is quite a Mad Document thing, but when you're pushing mids, you can negotiate soldier picks a little bit differently because that guy's not going to have crit seals when he arrives.
Yeah, well, we're getting pretty metagame here. Yeah, soldier, that's the thing with roamer sacks, where I'm actually against sacking roamers in a lot of scenarios, is, well, two things is, one, you sack a roamer, when he shows up to a fight, he's not crit heal like a scout is. Second of all, rockets on defense, like, you know, for spamming scenarios, are a lot stronger than a scatter gun.
Indeed. That's kind of how I've thought about it, especially on process. I feel like a scout sack would actually work pretty well because of how quickly they could get there, but you know, you do have the fast soldier jumps that could get things moving for you. But I think we'll probably see the tried and tested boink here, unless we see any strange cannonball shenanigans happen here at Choke. Somebody get double donked and turned into meat.
Yeah, probably. Marxist, I've now joined the sad zone as I've finished my fireball, so now I'm not sure what to do with myself because I'm a little bit sad.
And we do also have the defensive second sniper. I'm sure that it makes your heart grow at least 2 sizes. Oh
boy, defensive sniper. Well, actually I don't agree with the defensive sniper for the simple fact, you know, this team banks on the roamer bomb, and you know, while air headshots and whatnot are really nice, in general, having a second scatter gun to pepper is just really good. Actually, you know, I'm looking at this. Is Zero Error not gonna push and play like a bunch of Europeans and grind the clock down, you know, park the bus? Is that gonna happen?
I suspected that of them the other night on Granary, and I mean, they're still relatively close. Maybe they're just deeply terrified of a sniper, but it looks like they might just be waiting to see what Ding Dong's gonna decide to do, since this is in a second half and it's been pretty back and forth over second the whole night.
Man, if they park the bus, well, Zero Error, if you do that, I want to meet you in Grand Finals, because I don't like people that play like that. I'm gonna have to kill you really hard. But anyways, besides the Grand Finals, we have a Demo Man kind of peeking Choke. They're sitting way back near the pill spot middle. This is where, if you're Ding Dong Daddy, you know, and you try to look at the Choke, get a little bit of information, try to peek Sewer, see what you can get, you know, peek IT. You want information a lot in stalemate scenarios, because you want to basically know where all 6 of them are on the map. And from there, you know, if you realize the other team is stalemating out like this, you can try to work a pick where they likely don't have health. You know, you can really try to push out the maps. It looks like, yeah, they have Alec on Sniper, so they kind of have the idea of, they recognize, you know, they're behind, the clock is against them, they need to try and get something done before they lose, kind of deal, because I think they recognize that Mangachu's team is just going to park the bus right now.
Yeah, and with the score as close as it is, too, I don't know about parking the bus really strategically, because it may very well put you in the position where, because this round is going to time out in 5 minutes, as long as Ding Dong Daddy doesn't get really bored and do something regrettable. And that could, as long as they win that following mid, it puts them in position to tie the game up easily, and then basically have a mid fight decide the match. Which may not be too bad, but we've got Ranga going in. He tried to sneak around there. Now they're going to decide to push, so it's basically the bore them to death strat. They're going to try and come in on the sewer side out of the old Al-Qaeda door. Maybe. Apparently they decided they didn't like that very much. And Boink's going to go down, so we're at an evensies situation. The Uber charge for Ding Dong is running around in the IT side, but it looks like they're not going to do anything now. Maybe.
Yeah, this is where Alec, if I'm you, get off Sniper, go Scout, and go Super Saiyan mode right now and squash these people for playing like this. Here comes the Soldier Jump. That was actually a really nice jump by Mangachu. Ranga does go down, however. Alec does hit a headshot on the demo here, but you're running a Sniper on defense when they have the better offensive classes. Your medic does go down. Uh-oh, this is kind of the danger zone now. Kosa goes down, Mangachu goes down though. Push him, Ben. It's on you, my boy. I called you today. Can you hit the Scout? You get the Scout. Are you gonna live? No, you go down to Quas. 2 up right now, the Roamer and the Medic for the blue team, so it looks like red team winning, getting the better end of that aggression, so. See, this is the thing with a team like Mangachu's. When you typically play passive, and you try to move on sort of a reactionary thing to play aggressive, your team isn't very good at it, because you're not well versed at it. And I don't know with Boink on his solo aggression here, that's practically feeding. This should be a free middle for red team here. If they can get a second pick, okay. This is where if I'm red team right now, you recognize Mangachu is with the heal beam and IT, you push choke right now. They don't have health. So it looks like Showstopper is doing that. He needs more people. No, they're gonna like to stalemate out mid and wait for the Uber here, Marxist. But that was kind of on Ben there. If he didn't win that Scout v Scout, this could be a 4-2 game right now.
Yeah, it was looking really good for him, and then that other Scout showed up and kind of ruined the parade. DBW is going to bring her Uber in. Bailing out is Ding Dong. Elf is really hurt. There's a Scout maybe trying to go for him, but Schnell's going to go down, so no more Schnell, no more Mangachu. That's a busted push, and the Uber advantage is going to come out, well, still basically for DBW, but 3 down should be an easy second push. You got to be careful that there's nothing crazy, but it looks like we went ahead and checked the sewer, so really good play there in the sort of follow-up to make sure your medic wasn't going to get surprise destroyed.
Definitely is. It looks like the Ubers are relatively even here, but Ding Dong Daddy with control of, you know, the Xero error second, getting ready to push last. Alec has been sniping a good deal of this game, so I imagine, you know, we might just see him sacking to go Sniper here. It could be a Ranga bomb, not entirely sure. Let's see what they like to do here. There is a lot of damage on Boink. This is where, if I was a Scout, Alec, you had a big buff. That was your time where, you know, you push into that guy, and potentially you pick Boink without dying, and you still have a pretty decent buff. Maybe you get another pick, or, you know, you die, you go Sniper anyway. Like, you're accomplishing the goal while doing that sack right there, but no off-classing just yet from Ding Dong Dad. Maybe they'll like to do some sort of push, equal Ubers, or, you know, or maybe we're just waiting for the sack. Marxist, not sure what to expect here.
Yeah, and again, time is not really in the favor of the Ding Dong Daddies. They need to figure out what they're going to do here pretty quick and do it. Yeah, they do have the Kapow Sniper on defense in the same exact spot as Alec always generally is. And Ranga's going to get double donked and turned into meat. So that'll be the end of him. Probably see the counter-suicide here. Trying to go in, getting air suspended, actually going to force.
That was,
I don't know about that force at all.
Yeah, that was a really early... Wait, maybe this is mind games. Maybe they anticipate, you know, Xero error gaming to potentially try a push out. With this, maybe that could be their mindset, is they pop here, they don't really lose anything, force Xero error to push out with their Uber, potentially fail push and roll that in the last. It could be a mindset here, Marxist. It does look like Mangachu has the intention of using here.
Yeah, and the Uber comes out. He's gonna dive deep. Gonna grab Ranga, though. Boink is gonna go down to the sticky trap. Showstopper, though, is down. Alec is down. We got... Oh, wow. Ben K also down. So, yeah, I think maybe that's what they were looking to do, but then they couldn't handle the after effects of it. Everybody got all kind of spread out. Ranga was more or less trapped in IT for that, so I guess it kind of came when they didn't expect it. It looks like they may have tried to game the system there.
Yeah, kind of the problem I saw with what they did there is half of them had the intention of backcapping, which, in my mind, doesn't really work there. The other team's going to anticipate it. You know, you saw Mangachu go by himself bottom right. That means the rest of his team is, you know, watching the other doorways. If you go for a backcap, realistically, you're not buffed to do so, so it does look like we have a lot of aggression, though, coming out on this too, as the Uber is popped, the Demo and the Roamer go down here. This is where, if you're Ding Dong Daddy, you really need to push for more. You need to start taking bigger gambles, really kind of push the edge of what you can do, and it looks like they do that there. They bleed a scout and their soldier. Uh-oh, DBW does go down. That could be the key thing here, Marxist says. They will have themselves about a 30-40 Uber advantage as DBW spawns. Scout trying to fight here. Ranga does go down here. Confident Carl and Quest really pushing it in, but they don't have the two... The spawns now are going to be coming into effect. Uh-oh, they lost their Scout and their Roamer. Their flank is dead. This should be a retake for Ding Dong Daddy as they have about a 50% advantage. This is where these are kind of frags to happen. If they kill the soldier before he kills their medic, oh no. But, oh, only the Pocket and the Demo are alive right now, Marxist, so that's kind of a saving grace, as they won't really be able to roll it in the last by their lonesome.
Yeah, although Kosa and Mangachu are down for right now, so it gives you a little bit of time to get up into lobby, since Alec is really the only one not here right now, but they're not taking that. We do have the Kapow Heavy sitting over there on util, so got to get that guy double advantage. Hopefully they know about that, because it's a sizable one. Then they're going to go in, leading in the two players. Scout to the point, shooting the stuff off of it, but that Heavy's not been dealt with. And the Uber is going to... It's actually crits. It's defensive crits on the Heavy. And that's going to take out Ranga and Showstopper. The Heavy does finally go down, but... Little cheeky play there. I actually kind of like, in desperate situations, running crits on Process Last myself, so that was kind of fun to see. They didn't really deal with the Heavy, and then he laser beamed.
Yeah, I kind of like the defensive crits, but a problem with their push there is the Scout went for the cat with the Uber rather than just electing to shoot the Heavy. Getting a little bit too deep there as he gets airshot by Mang. Both teams really fighting it out here on this fight. This is where you can tell this is desperation. They know this is the round that basically determines the game. 3-2 here is DBW. It's kind of with the dilemma. You have crits on defense and the other team is about to have Uber. Kosa looking like he wants to go fishing here as a crits is popped. They do lose the Pocket here. Is he going to be able to secure anything else? Doesn't really look like it. Peyote is going to be able to get this Uber. Showstopper will be respawning. And not responding, respawning, as it looks like, is Mangachu's team going to try to push out? They are peeking out a little bit, Marxist.
Yeah, they're coming out here on the bats. I actually saw Ump's life flash before my eyes there when that crit rocket came flying into the side, but he managed to definitely avoid it. The thing here is that they're setting up that NG again there from Schnell, and we're going to Uber in both Scouts here, try and get that Heavy out of the way in the easiest way possible, but he's going to spawn out and not die. Their gun is up, the crits comes out. He's going to manage to get 2 kills there off the back of that crits, and that's a destruction on last. Trying to get out of here are Peyote and his soldier friend in Showstopper. The point's going to go down, though. Luckily, Peyote gets out.
Yeah, that he does. Okay, Ding Dong Daddy, maybe you should cheat a little bit here, but I'd like to see you guys do a double soldier Uber in the last, to be honest. With one RJ, you can kind of effectively cover the distance you need to get to the other team's medic. And with 2, like, double soldiers, you know, on top of whatever target they're shooting, it should die even if it's a Heavy. And then, you know, once your Uber's fading, you RJ back, flash in your Scouts, and hopefully you guys can win a push off of that or something, but either way, we do have the push coming in the middle, Marxist.
Yep, the deep bomb comes through. Scout in the way. but the Uber comes. Scout is still on second, along with, or mid rather, along with the soldier. They're gonna try and cap this second, but mid is gonna be a problem. It's really capped. The soldier is coming to stop it, but he gets blown out. It's gonna be close, but the second back cap goes down. Kapow is on mid, so he's not gonna be around. There's Confident Carl's spawn. He's got to try and do something magical. He's not even going to make it in time, and that is a tie game.
Damn, 3-3 game here, Marxist. This is for all the marbles right here. This is where you separate the men from the boys. We got 6.5 minutes remaining in this 3-3 half. Who do you think's going to pull away with the mid fight here?
I don't know, I'm feeling pretty good for Ding Dong Daddies here. They pulled that one out. The momentum is in their favor coming into this mid.
Alright, I'm gonna watch the Ranga cam this mid here. Marxist is, looks like he's getting posted up, ready for a jump. Baits his pocket, soldier's pocket goes in, goes for the air shot and misses. Uh-oh, this is the sad zone. They need to kind of cut their losses, maybe, if they can get out. Whoever's in, you're committed. Peyote does manage to stay alive, though. That's the key difference, Marxist, as he backs out with the demo, too. Best class to kind of stay alive and delay.
Yep, and Ump actually at completely full health. Gonna throw some people away from him. Really not, I mean, it's not the best situation to be trapped here at last, but they're gonna have Uber, and no off classes yet, so as long as Boink or whoever goes in for the suicide doesn't get the luckiest day of their life, we probably will end up seeing it come down to like the 3-minute mark here before a push comes in, maybe even longer, because you're not gonna have time for the sniper to mess around. Oh, we actually have Schnell on sniper already.
Well, we got the fun point-and-click adventure war is about to happen here, Marxist. Who do you think's gonna hit the first headshot, Alec or Schnell?
I don't know. Schnell's not really doing the aggressive types of things that he would necessarily need to do. The time they don't have forever. He's just sitting there staring with his dot at the wall on rollout, and I don't know if I like that. I would try and get, if we had the sniper in this situation, I'd want him to just get in and do stuff, because you have time to mess around. There is a bit of a sniper exchange, but body shots are all that are had.
Yeah, if that was a headshot on Alec, you know, potentially we see something happen here, but Ding Dong Daddy running the sniper NG defense, electing to not have any scouts here on their team, as we kind of just have to sit here and wait to see what happens.
Yeah, NG, pretty good choice here, really, for the map and for the situation overall, because you can just dump Ben back onto some other class, and it's just to kill time, and you're not really going to headshot the sentry gun, so it's going to be there. Yeah, Spy is in the field, though, in the form of Alec, so the defensive Spy coming out. So we'll see what's going on with that. If I can find him, I am clicking furiously, attempting to find it.
He's actually in there. IT goes for the ambassador headshot and whiffs, and he gets dropped by Mangachu. Are we gonna see any sort of push? Probably a sack, maybe a little bit more aggressive positioning coming out of Xero Error. Yeah, they're trying to move into lobby here. Maybe see if they can fish for another pick off of that, because if they get 2 picks, I don't know why DBW would walk in and use here. And with all this flashing, this Uber is going to fade in a second. Umph is in a really good position to kind of destroy everybody. Rango with the full. Ben's gun, staying alive, mulching players trying to get in the last, and yeah, that was a very questionable push there, I have to say.
Yeah, I don't know. The time can't be that low. We have to have like a minute or 2 left, and you can cap these points out. Oh, we are going to get Confident Carl headshot onto Ranga. Hiding out there is Peyote. He's in the... Ooh, that drop down may have cost him his life, but he manages to get out of that. Schnell is going to go down. Lots of soldiers jumping the point now. Mangachu and Boink both going to go down, only trading out for Umph, it looks like. So, only 2 players live, it's just DBW. Might have enough time left to turn this into stuff.
Yeah, kind of a problem with that re-engage they just did there is they bled the sniper, so they had 1 scout on the re-push, and Mangachu, you know, this is kind of where he's showing his roamer colors, doing a double jump in, or, you know, even a single jump or whatever, but when you have 2 guns, it's pretty good to stay alive and actually live long enough to use that. Instead, you know, he jumped in, shot 3 rockets, died. His team tried to re-engage, but it looks like Ding Dong Daddy pushing through upper IT with the Uber here. Oh, a really good rocket there out of Showstopper, actually, but on these advantage pushes, he's really just... He's going for solo Ubers when he really needs to take +1 on these pushes, but he manages to get a 2K. Is that going to be the difference maker? And we have the 4-3 now for Ding Dong Daddy, so it looked like he might have pushed a little too far once again, Marxist, but the rest of his team shows up in the nick of time, and it looks like my prediction is sitting pretty handy with Ding Dong Daddy pulling ahead.
Yeah, this is going to be, in Eurocast, they would always be like, this has to be a really aggressive mid. This mid has to be over in a second in order for Zero Error's season not to be basically over. But, so I tuned into Boink myself, but they're trying to, this is a slow developing mid. I don't know how I feel about this. They've got to get a medic frag and a bunch of other frags as well. And it looks like they're actually losing this one pretty handily. Peyote's still alive. DBW also still alive, getting out, but you do not want to be in this situation at all. This is a complete disaster.
Yeah,
for,
this is
Zero
where, yeah, Zero Error definitely on the back foot. They're gonna need the off-class. The Showstopper calling that he wants to go. He needs more people, though, to show up on this. As he gets in bottom left, oh, really clean shots, hits the wall on the medic. Ranga pre-firing is able to jaunt DBW. They get a frag on the Boink, really good damage on Kosa, and this is it right here. This is the game, Marxist. 5-3 Rango with another frag, 2 up. Maybe, can Mangachu and Schnell? No! Can Umph win it, 1v? Come on, Ding Dong Daddy. This is where you whip it out. Be a big daddy right now. He's going for it! He's going for it with a jump! Double stick is the point! No, it's a little too late. But Mangachu and Schnell able to hold it off, and we have a 4-3 game nonetheless. You know, they pull it out here, and we are going to see Ding Dong Daddy in the grand finals.
Yeah, so congratulations to Ding Dong Daddy. They get rid of Zero Error Gaming. Their season is over, so that will cut them out, and that means you'll be playing Ding Dong Daddy, Blank.
Oh yeah, I forgot I have to play whoever won this, but yeah, it looks like gonna get the rematch on Ump's team. Should be a good game. Kinda deal, and we have Viaduct too, should we take it to a second match. But all I have to say is bus parkers down. Don't park the bus, fuck that shit. Sorry for profanity, but don't do that.
The gods of TF2 will punish you for your bus parkery, as was seen tonight. So,
for sure.
If you have any, well, I guess we should look at the stats before we really start rolling out. I guess people like to look at those sometimes, yeah?
Yeah, stats, let's see. Big numbers and stuff. Who were the top fraggers of the game? We had Mangachu, 43 frags, and it looks like the most damage in the server kind of deal. So, really kind of pulling his weight, but Ben, let's see. Ben went 24-24, 9k damage. About 2k less than his scout partner, but, you know, he hit the shots when it mattered. Kind of turned around a couple of situations for his team and whatnot, so it was a good game.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm seeing out of it too. Not a super strong game from Ben, but in the end, good enough, you won, so what do you have to complain about? And then, yeah, Mangachu, really dominant performance on his very final boss-looking numbers there at Pocket, although being pretty aggressive, so it's a bit of a misnomer on my part. DBW actually surviving a bit more and winning the not dropping battle, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter. Peyote coming out on top, even getting some more points out of there. So yeah, I'm not seeing too much stuff out of there. We do see pretty similar roamer numbers as well. Only Boink was only 2 frags behind Ranga, so pretty close there. On the whole, pretty good game. The bus parkery was a bit of a sad moment, but I was pleased.
Yeah, if you get scared in a game and you're like, let's park the bus because you're afraid you might make a mistake, anytime your mentality is you're scared of losing, you lose. Like, just play your game, be confident in how you play. That's really all there is to it.
And that's a pretty good approach to life overall.
Amen.
Just go ahead and do it. But I should mention before we wrap it on up here is that eXtv will be casting the IM finals. Blank, unfortunately, will not be casting. I have a feeling. So, I don't know when exactly that will be, because you guys will have to probably work out what exact date it's going to be. But that should be some pretty good TF2-ery going on in the very near future. Probably next week, I would imagine.
Probably, yeah. I mean, we haven't really played this entire week because our pocket has been out of town, so more or less just chilling. But, yeah, it should be a pretty good grand finals, I imagine.
I hope so. But, well, to finish on up, you got any shout-outs or things to pontificate about, Blank?
Pontificate. I like that word. Well, shout out to you, Marxist. Shout out to Lang for letting me fill in. Shout out to, I believe, Dashner for doing the camera work. Everybody that tuned in. Shout outs to all the madmen. And, I don't know, shout outs to both the teams playing. You guys had a good game. And shout out to all the viewers. And any of you clowns in stream.
Alrighty, well, Showstoppers protesting that we're not trying to do an interview, but I don't know if I really want to do one here. Didn't talk about that with Dashner ahead of time, so maybe in the future we'll work that in. I think we'll just go ahead and set this ship out to sea. So, for eXtelevision, this has been Marxist alongside Blank. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the TF2.